Hybrid genres games are not something many consider checking out. After all, why play something that is doing two or more things superficially while you could be playing something that does one thing well? And yet, there is a certain charm to those, for they may deliver an experience like few others can replicate. And today's game does something like that. Let's take a quick look at it. In the simplest terms, Castle Storm is a mix of Angry Birds style competitive smash 'em up, I think it exists, side-scrolling strategy game, and very simple 2D action systems, for when you just wanna say, screw it, I'm brawling, though the game will make sure to humble you at every opportunity. To go a bit more in detail, the competitive smash 'em up is composed of two main parts. First one being the castle construction where, besides the presets, you can create your own, with the upgrades and units you want. Me, being the unapologetic min-maxer that I am, I try to show every single unit and upgrade. Turns out, you actually can't. You are limited to only 5 units. Damn, but you can put every single upgrade room, so I did. Except for the one granting extra gold for every enemy unit left alive at the end of a mission. For, completely international law-abiding reasons, of course. The second part is the attack. This is where the Angry Birds part takes effect, as you fling a variety of stuff to get rid of the incoming attackers, ranging from ballista arrows, exploding apples, ship with suspicious emissions, boars with clear emissions, and anything else you may have found on the floor. Keep in mind, your foes can do the same. Nothing can beat the sensation of making a badass shot, only for it to be intercepted in midair. Speaking of the enemy, to defeat them, you either demolish all their rooms in their castle, or steal their flag. This is a world working on unreal rules. If you steal the thing, you win. Immediately. I guess it holds that much sentimental value. That's it for the smash map. The strategic part comes from your troops, who, once sent on the field, are going to beeline towards the enemy castle to steal their aforementioned flag. The only good thing they can do. Nah, that's a bit harsh. Depending on who you summon, they can also destroy the enemy castle. Just look at this chap here.
Catapult!
Such thought-provoking words from one of my cannon fodder brave warriors. I may be the player, but you guys on the front line, you are the real heroes. Speaking of heroes, when things go particularly south, you can commandeer one to bash the enemies. They cannot take the flag though, and only last 30 seconds. I guess they had to have some kind of limitations. All the heroes play pretty much the same. They all have a basic attack, a powered attack, a shield preventing damage, a ranged attack, and can jump. No, there are no platforming sequences, but it's useful to avoid enemies. A note, if you are going for an all-star run like I did, if you get stuck, don't be afraid to partially complete a level to then come back when you are stronger. Once acquired, upgrades are retroactively applied. I wish I knew it before because, man, trying to beat a solo hero mission at level 1 is not a fun time. There is also magic, but I never upgraded it, or at least not as much as the troops and weapons. As a last thing, the story is adequate. It does make some jokes here and there, but overall is nothing memorable. With that out of the way, I want to talk more broadly about hybrid genres. Back in my Realms Deep and October 2023 Next Fest roundup, I stated the second way a game catches my interest is when it's a mashup of two or more already explored concepts, just like Castle Storm does here. Additional examples of hybrid genres are the Spellforce series, Lair of the Clockwork God, Exmorph Defense, Chessformer, and others. You see, I enjoyed hybrid genres so much because it's a creative way to make something unique. I'm not a game developer, but I do try to stay in touch with the community, and a common theme among them is the difficulty of creating an idea that is original and fun. It's the main reason why things such as game jams and the Pico 8 exist. They force an aspiring dev to think up something under certain restrictions, thematic restriction in the jam's case, and quote-unquote hardware bound ones in the second. Another thing worth noting is that if you take a look at the average Metacritic score for games such as these, it tends to be relatively around the 7 or 8 mark, rarely reaching the heights of 9 or 10. I don't think that this is a coincidence. I think this is the natural outcome for such projects. For trying to mix things up is sailing uncharted territory, easy to mess up, but when done right, it can yield high rewards, even open an evolutionary path to eventually become a new subgenre altogether. But that assumes it will take off. That is why it's a rewarding challenge. For few titles manage to do it, but those that do are rewarded in kind.